Many people have asked me about how do I practice? Like, how do I get a routine that works for me? And different teachers and, artists have different methods of that. But as a drummer, percussionist, from taking drum lessons myself and studying and then being a teacher for years, I've had a lot of private students and teach clinics. And what I kept seeing was like there was kind of a collection of ideas that always came around, and I found it was like 5 areas really. One was rudiments and technique, which is hand development and the 40 international rudiments and sticking patterns and really watching your grip and all of that. Of course, always working with a metronome. Number 2 is reading music. Now, some drummers don't like to do that, but I really love learning from the books as well. So I have a little time in my practice where I do a snare drum book for a bit, and then I'll work on a full drum set book to work on different concepts in both of those areas. And then third is actually listening to music and copying, like we talk about when we're learning with bands. And there's always a part of that in my practice time. And my students like that the most, but they have to do rudiments, they have to do some reading, then they get to work on songs. And I really look for them to learn how to listen carefully and copy. And I'll do the same thing when I'm practicing. The fourth thing is just working on groove concepts. And I find that there's kind of 4 main areas: eighth notes, 16th notes, triplets, and shuffles or swing time. So besides reading the books or copying somebody, I also do this thing where I call playing eights, which is playing 8-bar phrases, where I play one groove for 8 measures, and in the 8th bar I'll do a little drum fill and then go to the next section and play a variation on that idea. And I'll do it to a metronome for at least 5 minutes at one tempo, because that's kind of song structure. So if you play 8-bar phrases and build an idea for 5 minutes, you've kind of created a song in a musical way. And then last but not least, my 5th area is working on solos and improvisation. There needs to be that last 5 or 10 minutes where you just kind of blow off steam. And I'll make it a time of where like I pray and I play, and I might have scriptures there and even like read something from Psalms and interpret that. It's kind of a playing in the spirit kind of time, really. So I'll do it kind of 2 ways. One, I'll play really free form and play sounds and effects, and I have a bunch of percussion instruments. So I'll pull in a djembe or a cajon or shakers and all these toys, and I'll just create colors, and I'll be praying, and I'll just be having a good time. And then you go into another idea, and then I'll convert it into timekeeping, where I might even start like a drum loop or a metronome, and I'll play along and do 2 bars of a groove, 2 bars of a solo, 2 bars of groove, 2 bars, and then make it 4 bars of groove, 4 bars of solo. So then it becomes soloing within the context of a groove. So anyway, when you do that, whether it's an hour or 2 hours or however much time you want to take, you can pretty much do 5 sections of this easily, and it breaks up your practice time. It keeps you from getting bored.